You know, there's a term that goes around, and the term is all city. I know you're familiar with the term. And the way the term was explained to me when I first started writing was to be up, you know, basically on all lines, or as many lines as humanly possible. So that really was my mission, was to go all city. There was a point in time where I felt like I had accomplished that. And once I did that, I was pretty content. Let me see, it's been a while, huh? But it's like riding a bike, I guess, huh? And that was your basic tag there. The ease, you know. There was a guy I used to write with, a little known guy, but he had a good style. It was Tack 147, and Tack used to write Peace God. But his marker used to be so flooded that you couldn't even read that. You couldn't even tell what it said unless you really knew him. And then one day I met him at the bench, I believe, and around that time he started writing Tack 147, like that. And then after we started writing together, you know, to kind of make us look like, you know, one and the same, I just modified the C, his C, which was basically like this, into my E. Right, so it became like this. You know, I started out like most people, motion tagging and writing on the inside of the train on the way home from school, and then it just elevated, you know.
Did you have a procedure?
A procedure?
I mean, did
Yeah.
you start at one end and...
No, it didn't matter. Any open space. I would say originally I used to look at a lot of TMT stuff, and so if I was to say anybody's style that I got my style from or copied, it would have to be, you know, like Chain, Part, Cool, a little bit of Kel, and T-Kid, a little bit of T-Kid too. I only ventured out to outsides, you know, just as an extension. During the time that myself and Dez came out, we were really the main ones taking advantage of the 3-yard. Matter of fact, the first night that they painted there, we got raided. And there was, I think there might have been probably about 30 people in the yard at that time. And I was painting, Dez was painting, and a cop was so close to me, I looked up, and he was literally like standing right there, and he was sneaking up on me, and I just happened to see him out of my peripheral vision. And of course we all jetted, and it was chaos because at that time the only exit hole out of the 3-yard was a hole about this wide. And as a matter of fact, that is when Dez and I became real good friends, because as Dez was climbing through, the cops grabbed his leg, and they were trying to pull him back in, and I pulled him out. Cheerios. And that was the first name I wrote. And then I was, and then I don't know what I was thinking. Then I had the nerve to throw the Saint on there, you know. And then my friend Mr. Mean, he said, you know, what is that? I said, that's the name I'm gonna use. He said, that shit is corny. You know, you need to change it. And then so I came up with Skeme, and I used to just kind of write it like that. But most good names only have, you know, 5 letters or less. So I broke the C and the H down, and then it became Skeme just like that. Who I am now? Well, I'm in the United States Army. I've been in the Army for 17 years, will be 18 in September. Sergeant Major, which is like the highest enlisted grade in the Army. The Deputy Commandant of the Fort Sill Non-Commissioned Officer Academy. I'm currently living in Oklahoma, which can't wait to get out of there. But that's pretty much it. I have four children right now. And I say right now because I'm not through with that either. I didn't start writing to go to Paris. I didn't start writing to do canvases. I started writing to bomb, destroy all lines. That's what I'm doing.
Now that you've heard that, you understand what I'm saying to you when I say that I don't understand him. He's out there to bomb, destroy all lines. What have the lines ever done to him?
What he was doing was dangerous and illegal, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Barbara, you told me when I first called you to ask if you would be willing to undergo an interview, and you said, what I have to say about graffiti, you don't want to hear.
I told you then that basically what you're doing is almost came to aiding and abetting criminals, making a film.
Going into stores, like we could go one day and get 100 cans at a time. It's easy. For me anyway. It's, harder on black kids or Spanish kids.
I mean, if you were a black male or a Hispanic male, and you walked into any of the, hardware stores or art stores, immediately security was either on you physically or you knew they were on you by, video or something like that. So.
Was there any type of special way that you prepared before you went out to hit trains? Or
No, the only preparation I did was a nickel bag. That's it.
The nickel bag might have been one preparation. The other preparation was the misappropriation of every cap that I had on a can of spray. Whatever kind of spray it was missing. Okay? You go and you take out something you want to spray the room, the cap is gone. You take something, you get ready to clean the oven, the cap is gone, all right?
When we went to the yard, we went in style. I mean, we would take pizza, we take beer, all your amenities. It was like you were in your living room. It was called the ghost yard because just the aura, the way it looked at night with the lights, destroyed trains and windows broken out. I remember one time I was in the ghost in broad daylight and we got raided. So this cop climbs up on top of the train. Well, first he's chasing me down the aisle, so real quick I just hang a quick left and I go in between the car and I get up on top of the train. So here he comes, behind me, and he gets on top of the train. So there's like, in the ghost yard, there's like 20, 30 rows of trains across, maybe more. And so he climbs up, and as he climbs up, I just jump to the next train. So he's, trying to follow me, and every time he jumps to one, I jump over. And he says to me, he said, well, why don't you give yourself up? He said, basically he was telling me he was going to beat me up on the way downtown. And he said, the more you make me chase you, the worse it's going to be going downtown. So we were up there and there's no way he could catch me because he had on, the belt and the gun, and there's no way the guy could catch me. And he was getting real pissed.
What night is somebody going to hear that a child of theirs is gone? For what? Painting on trains?
She's missing the whole point. The fact that it's illegal, that's what makes it graffiti.
I'm not his age, okay? I'm not his graffiti painting buddy. I am his mother. They even dress to go to work, okay? There's almost this sack of paint on the back and this raggedy coat with the hood.
It really prepared me for the Army because graffiti was a mission. You had to start from a draft, you had to get your materials, then you had to be dedicated. You couldn't say, well, I got a piece to do, and then, 2 weeks go by and you never do it.
1,001 other things that they could have been doing besides that.
She's still talking about art class, and that's not what graffiti is about. Graffiti is about bombing and getting up, and you don't get up in art class.
It's all I can do now. It's really to keep from laughing at him, because the whole thing is just so silly.
I almost feel like I'm 17 years old. It's a weird feeling.
He says he feels like he's 17. When I look at him, he is still looking at me in that same silly way that he was looking at me then.